Well, you can tell her, rip it out of Yeah, that's where the action is gonna be. Oh.
And we also have, Robin Hache, who's going to do the everything for the. Good.
Bye. I think I can see.
So for starters, I just want to say a big chimi gwitch to Elder Peter Jones and Knowledge Keeper Phil Jones for opening us up in a good way. So, Anin Mojo, Ajawish Gobeneshe Indigenous, Gioje and Dodam, Bachwana and Donjiba, Ojibwe, Minwa, Anishinaabe, Koyandau. So, good morning, everybody. My Anishinaabe spirit name is Standing Bluebird, and my government name is Robin Hashe. I belong to the Pike Clan, and I am from Bachwana First Nation, and I am a proud Anishinaabe woman. So, good afternoon, everyone, elders, local and national media, community members, and Chief Huron Treaty of Tikmashing, Anishinaabe. We are also honored to welcome our Chief, Ogima Kwe, Karen Bell of Ketagon-ZB Garden River First Nation. Miigwech for being here today and for your continued support. We have gathered for an important and historic moment regarding the RHT legal fees. At this time, I would like to invite our Chief, Ogima Kwe, Karen Bell, to share a few words.
Ani Bojo, Kinawea, Nimki Anakwet Kwe, Nokavis Kokam, Jijak, Dodam, Ketagon ZB, Ojaba, Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, Kwe. Good afternoon, everyone. My English name is Karen Bell. I am the elected leader of Garden River First Nation. My clan is the Crane clan, and I welcome each and every one that are here today. I want to acknowledge the place that we're currently in. This is the Dan Pine Healing Lodge. He's a direct descendant of Chief Shinwalk. This was his vision for a space to provide an opportunity for all of our members and our invited guests to share and have some cultural capacity and to heal because of the traumas that have been inflicted on the people across the country. I also want to acknowledge the firekeeper and the fire that is behind me. I also want to thank Elder Peter Jones for the prayer. And I also want to thank Phil Jones for the drum and song that he made today. So I want to acknowledge not only Elder Peter Jones, but all of our elders and all our elders that have passed before us. If it wasn't for all of these people who pushed and kept the culture and the language alive and reminded us of our obligations to ensure that Canada understood that we had and were the first peoples of this country. Your guidance and your teachings continue to ground us each day and remind us who we are as Anishinaabe people. I also want to give recognition to the youth who carry our strength and our vision for the future and who will be our future, and to all of our community members and staff members who worked hard every day and to support and strengthen our nation, Garden River. Today we are joined by the Chief and Council of the Tikmashing and Anishinaabe, our own council here at Garden River, our members, and our many guests who have come to be part of this special moment. I also want to thank the local media as well as the national media for attending, who are here to share with us the good news of our story. We also want to honor Chief Shinwalk. If it wasn't for him, we would not be on the path that we are. He had a vision, and his vision was to uphold his people to ensure their prosperity and their longevity. He had a vision for education, self-determination, and the protection of our people that continue to guide us through where we are today. So Chimigwech, Chief Shinwalk, and all of the spirits that have been, and all our ancestors have gone before us. Welcome everyone to Garden River First Nation. It is definitely, absolutely a privilege to host this gathering and to be the external leader of the community at this time. It is in our lands what is truly a historic day. Our goal has always been to make sure that there was fairness, there was accountability, and there was transparency in how the legal fees were managed and paid by the Robinson-Huron Treaty Litigation Fund to the beneficiaries. The case was never about questioning the success of the treaty settlement. It was about protecting and the long-term interests of all the treaty beneficiaries of all the 21 nations within the Robinson-Huron Treaty territory, our members today and generations yet to come. The Robinson-Huron Treaty settlement of $10 billion recognized nearly 175 years of economic deprivation. It was a landmark moment for us when we acknowledged our rights and our perseverance and our rightful share in the wealth of our lands known as the Robinson-Huron Treaty Territory. The court's decision that recently was made public is a win for fairness, transparency, and good governance. It reminds us that our nations will always stand up for what is right. Before I close, I want to personally thank Chief Nootchtai and his council at Atikameksheng and Anishinaabeg for their partnership and their determination through this process. It was not an easy process when you have 21 chiefs and trustees and many other technical people in a room, and you're putting a motion on the floor to speak about the legal fee, and the seconder is Gardner First Nation, and then there were crickets. It's very, very disparaging when you know that you're the only two people standing up in a big forum like that and not being supported by your fellow councillors. And we were only asking for fairness across the board and to be transparent. I want to also thank everybody here at the council at Garden River and our members and everybody that stood behind us in our effort to make this happen. This decision ensures that hundreds of millions of dollars will remain where they belong. They will belong to the beneficiaries, the people of the Robinson-Huron Treaty nations. Together with this money and this funding and these visions, this money will return to the beneficiary nations, and we will be building a strong future rooted in integrity, accountability, and in the spirit of our ancestors. Miigwech.
Bonjour, Ani. Nimedokwa, Vishnakas, Mong and Dodam, Atikameksheng and Dojaba, Devon, Atikameksheng and Anishinaabeg. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Craig Nootchtai, and I'm the chief of Atikameksheng and Anishinaabeg. I was just telling Chief Bell, I said, I don't know how I'm going to follow that, but she pretty much summed it all up. Today is, we're really proud to announce Justice Fred Meyer's decision on the RHT legal fees. You know, we felt that his decision was fair, very thorough, and, you know, it speaks volumes to, you know, the integrity of the courts and this entire process. So I just want to say thank you to Chief Bell and her counselors for hosting us today, and to the elders who opened up with a prayer, a song, a smudging. It really is a joyous day for us all. I also wanted to just acknowledge too that this case is it's not about money, it's about being transparent, being accountable to the RHT beneficiaries. And that was the, I guess the point we raised over, felt like a really long time, 2 years, really. And it wasn't like we just made a snap decision to challenge the fees. We talked about it, or we tried to talk about it for a long time. And I just want to acknowledge too that I am a descendant of Shwanakijik, who signed the treaty on behalf of the Tikmishik. And so throughout this process of the entire claim, the annuities claim, throughout the litigation and the negotiation, I took my role as a chief and trustee very seriously. And I always thought, you know, about what our ancestors, what they would want us to do with this treaty that they had signed, and what was the spirit of the treaty. And being transparent and accountable to your people is that first principle. And I always, you know, I always kept that close to my heart and in all of our meetings. And so to have Garden River, Councillor Liel and Chief Bell stand up with me to support the motion to challenge the legal fees, you know, I really truly felt that our ancestors were with us, and so miigwech for that, you know, I can't express how much appreciation I have for that, because it is tough standing up, you know, and saying, hey, there's something we need to talk about more here, and we really need to address this. And so it was a difficult time, but I do want to acknowledge that it wasn't just Councillor Liel and Chief Bell, but we also had a lot of supporters from RHT, all of the beneficiaries. In the last couple of days since Justice Myers released his decision, been getting many phone calls and texts and emails saying thank you for standing up for us. We didn't know what was going on. Now we know at least part of what's going on. Thank you for standing up for us. So I just want to say thank you for that too, because that really does mean a lot, and I really truly take that to heart. And I want to thank my council. My council couldn't be here; they had other commitments, but I just want to thank them too, our previous council and our current council, because they too heard the concerns not only by our members but by other RHT members, and they too said, you know, there's nothing wrong with raising questions and talking about things as long as we do it in a good way. And we really tried to do that. And that was expressed in the hearings in late September and October. And so Justice Myers really took that into consideration and incorporated that into his decision. That we really tried, you know, to resolve this without having to go through the courts. And a big thank you to our legal team from McCarthy Tetro, Michael Rosenberg, and Alana Robert, and Greg Rinkamp. They did a fantastic job of really framing what the case is about, right? It's about being transparent, being accountable, and to determine what a fair and reasonable legal fee is. And you know, this is particularly important because in the way the settlement funds were distributed, the first, or at least one of the first payments was to the lawyers. So we needed to know how much we were gonna, how much the legal bill was gonna be. And that's really what this was about, right? We needed to resolve that. And, you know, we felt that they did a great job, not only representing, you know, the beneficiaries, but in respecting to the principles of Anishinaabe law that were brought up during the hearing. And that's tough, right? We live in a society where we have really our feet in two doors. You know, we have our Anishinaabe law, and we also have this European society that we do have to follow as well. And so they did a fantastic job in helping us navigate through that. But in the end, this was about an agreement, and honoring an agreement, which included an assessment of the fees. And Justice Myers' his decision to reduce the fees down to 23 million from 510 million, we consider that very fair, because we do acknowledge and have always acknowledged the hard work, the creativity that the lawyers showed throughout the entire litigation and negotiation. We never ever questioned their commitment to doing the work, but we did have to question the bill that they presented to us. And so that's really what I wanted to share today. Since we found out, I've been kind of on a roller coaster of emotions. It's really surreal because, as we go through all of these motions and we have these meetings, I kind of relive too, those early meetings where it was difficult to stand up, but I am a chief, I am a trustee, I accept that, and I have to act accordingly. And I felt it was important to stand up for the RHT beneficiaries and say, hey, we need to take a closer look at this, so let's do that. And I'm glad the decision is here. My next job, and I guess moving forward with Chief Bell and Councillor Liel, is I'll continue to press that the funds be returned to the beneficiaries as quickly as possible, and do whatever I have to do to make sure that happens, to represent all RHT beneficiaries in a good way. You can count on me to do that, and my council has, like I said, fully supported and given me that direction to make sure that the Justice Meyer's decision is carried out as quickly as possible, and we're prepared to move forward. We just want to keep moving forward. There's still another part to this claim that has to be resolved, and we want to do that as well. And we're really looking forward to continue working with Chief Bell and Councillor Liel and the rest of the trustees, to address the long-standing annuities issue in RHT. I just want to also thank there was a number of our RHT beneficiaries that showed up at the hearings, both hearings, last year and then earlier this year. I just want to say miigwech for coming out. I know you did so at your own expense, and that really meant a lot. And to those of you that watched online and supported us, that really does mean a lot. And we look forward to continue to have that support, and we thank you for that. So on behalf of the Tikmishing and Schnabek, I just want to thank you all. Thank you for listening to my remarks, and I wish you all a great day. Miigwech.
So, with protocol, I am going to address Huron Treaty's comments, and I'm going to give an opportunity for our trustee to speak as well, because he had a significant part in playing and where the play ended up at the end. And though he may not have been in the courtroom, his spirit was there, and he was at all of the chief and trustees meetings. So I'm going to give him that opportunity. I also wanted to make note that I was in a meeting in Sault Ste. Marie yesterday, and this whole thing did not start with the current chief and council. This happened, when I was not the chief, and I ran into former Chief Andy Rickard yesterday, and I did reach out to him and approached him and acknowledged the work that the former leadership had done in the past when they started questioning the CDA, which is the compensation disbursement, as well as the legal fee. And we went to it when I just got in as the chief in early October. I got in on the 20th of September 2023, and then very early in October I went to my first chiefs and trustees meeting for the Huron Treaty, and one of the items there was of a very good significance and how this was going to play out, because it ended up playing out the way it ended up, is Garden River chose to bring their own legal representative, and as a result of that, our lawyer ended up getting kicked out of the room, and which was very unfair. We thought, and we knew right then, that we were going to have some sort of a difficult time to start processing this, because there's a lot of a lot of heaviness placed on a chief to make decisions on behalf of his or her nation, when you don't have time to consult with your, not only just your nation, but your leadership. You know, oftentimes there were resolutions put on the floor as we're walking into the room, and there was oftentimes that, you know, both myself and Huron Treaty stood up and said, you know, we can't make a decision on this because we haven't had an opportunity to have conversation with our council on how and what the direction they want to move on these items. And we always, it seems to be that this was the playing field, and it was you know, it was placed on us to make very quick decisions. And oftentimes we either abstained from that kind of vote, or we opposed it because we didn't have an opportunity to address the leaderships of our council. And so with that, I just wanted to put that out there just so that people understand that the decision to do this was not taken lightly. As Huron Treaty said, we had conversation. We attempted to bring this onto the floor. We tried to identify with the RHTLF as well as the chiefs in assembly that we were not satisfied, or we wanted to have more discussions on a lot of these things. And predominantly one of the items was the legal fee. And we got outvoted, or they didn't bring it forward. And so we had to make that hard decision on pursuing legal and hiring a textual law firm to do the work that we needed to get done, with the mind that we are the external representatives of our communities, and our chiefs and our councils are the political figures of our nations, and we are obligated to ensure that we're making the best decisions that we feel is for the nations, and not just the nations in our two nations, but for the entire people that live in the Robinson Huron Treaty territory that are beneficiaries. And along with what Chief Nootchtai had mentioned, is that I've been inundated with emails, phone calls, you know, texts, accolades from not just our own community members, but members from other nations across the Robinson Huron Treaty territory, saying, Miigwech, thank you for stepping forward, thank you for speaking on our behalf, thank you for making these kinds of decisions, thank you for pursuing this legal fee that at the end of the day brought a lot of more wealth back to our communities, which where it rightly belongs. So Miigwech, and with that, I'm going to ask Councillor Liel to step to the podium.
My Chester Liel, Councillor and Trustee for Gardner First Nation, and I just want to acknowledge our elder as well, and for the drum, and for their opening, and I also want to acknowledge both Chief Nootchtai and Chief Bell, and Chief Nootchtai and Council for the work towards moving this along. This is about the benefit for the 40,000 Robinson Huron Treaty members, and ensuring that their best interests are cared for. And there's a fiduciary responsibility as chief and councillors to ensure that that's carried out. And when there's 21 First Nations that are represented and only 2 are standing alone to address the interests, it really raises questions about are we doing what we need to do and what we should be doing? Is this what's the best? And the one thing is that we never moved from that. We always we're consistent in terms of moving forward with that. Asking our ancestors to ensure and guide us that what we're doing is for the best interest of the people, and that resulted in where we are today, and following the court hearing. And just acknowledging Chief, although Halloween's coming up, it was my physical presence and not my spirit in the courtroom. It was, you know, the one thing is, from all of this, it's about ensuring transparency. When we have, and I want to acknowledge the positive work that was done by the legal team in this. They did some really great work, and they have a greater understanding of the issues as Anishinaabe people themselves, and they were able to ensure moving this forward to a successful resolution. But it's imperative to ensure that we are all doing this on behalf of the people. And when the legal team is getting more than 16 of the other First Nations, of the 21 First Nations, then that's something that should be considered and questioned. And we wanted to ensure transparency, and we wanted to ensure that we had a second legal opinion. We wanted a legal opinion on this, and we were never given that opportunity before there was a vote on the legal fees. And we wanted to ensure that that was we were fulfilling our own due diligence, and that's brought us to where we are today. But I just want to acknowledge again that both Tikmashing Chief Counsel and our Council, Chief and Counsel, as everyone moved towards ensuring that the interests of our people would be cared for. Very much.
I believe this brings it to the last little bit of our press conference. I'd like to welcome again our knowledge keeper Phil Jones to close the press conference in a good way. Thank you. Which.
Miigwech Bell. At this time, I would like to call on Chief Bell, Chief Nootchtai, and Councillor Liel to come up and answer some questions from the press.
So I'm not sure how you want to do this, if you just want us to come to each one of you. I know that there's people here that probably have to get back to work or back on with their lives, and I also want to advise everybody, there is light snacks in the kitchen area. Please help yourselves. They were made for us, so please involve yourselves in them, take some food, because we can't leave it behind, so just wanted to recognize that. So I don't know if you want to set the mic, or if you don't want to set the mic, how you want to work that.
You know what, Karen, maybe just for the ease of the cameras, we can just kind of do it as a scrum, like just.
Okay, that's good.
So they can get a different perspective in that too, of the room perhaps, and it might
Okay.
just be easier that way than standing up.
Sure. I like that. That's better, because you can do 3 people at once. Okay, we're good. So please, everyone that's here, thank you for coming. Miigwech, it means a lot, especially for the people that did go on the bus and end up in the courtroom with us. You know, you're here today. You heard all of the testimony. And for the people that were also online that couldn't show up, please, at this time, help yourselves to some of the food. Please mingle. Miigwech. Okay.
We'll just wait till I get the 2 cameras set up, and wherever they want to set up, and I can move it anywhere. We can move anywhere. We're flexible.
Yeah, you move to where you want to be and we'll follow you.
Alex, are
It's
you?
just a little less formal.
I'll follow
that way
you.
For their purposes, for the cameras. We're flexible, we can move anywhere,
Okay.
take it first. Is that okay, don't we discuss it? Careful.
Awesome, appreciate it. First press release, first press conference. Beautiful.
I'll